You, on behalf of ICAN, were awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. What does that mean for your campaign?
It means everything to us. This campaign is full of people from all over the world who've worked tirelessly on these issues for decades, for 7 decades. And it means a lot because it's a tough issue. It's under-resourced, you're being mocked for being naive or idealistic, so to get this kind of recognition means so much to our campaigners and partner organizations all over the world. We've been so close to catastrophe throughout the Cold War. And now, decades after, when documents are being declassified, we're finding out more and more about accidents, near misses, and irrational precedents. And just look at today. I mean, we also had a war in Iraq that was fueled by threats of weapons of mass destruction. We have conflict with Iran. We've had Kashmir, North Korea right now. Look at the situation between North Korea and the United States. This does not feel safe. This does not feel like peace or stability. Rather, nuclear weapons are fueling these conflicts and making the threat of war much more likely. We have prohibited other weapons and gotten rid of other weapons, chemical weapons, biological weapons, landmines and cluster munitions. We are moving to a world where indiscriminate weapons that violate the laws of war are no longer acceptable military policies. And of course, it's going to require a lot of inspection. We have the IAEA, for example, who has detected problems in the past. And all of these details are going to be solved when the nuclear armed states are joining this treaty. I think we're, just as the Cuban Missile Crisis, really close to a nuclear disaster. And of course, as these threats are increasing, their militaries are also getting prepared, being responsive to these kind of threats, which also increases the risk of an accident. The risk is always above zero, which means that if we keep nuclear weapons forever, they will be used. I think that we owe it to the survivors to heed to their call right now. Many people have ignored their stories for a very long time. We have one final chance to prohibit and eliminate nuclear weapons before they are gone, in a way. And I think that we really need to make sure that they get to watch that. And I know that many survivors were extremely happy to see the treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons. But we can do more, and we must do more. I think that no state is isolated from international law and international norms. I mean, some of them might be quicker to pick it up, of course, but I think that each state still has to relate to it. And I think we see that with information warfare. The reason why they're trying to distort reality is because even the worst human rights violators know that it's not really acceptable to do that in public. So I think that these norms and pressure on state works, even in non-democratic countries. This is the moment where we have to strengthen multilateral diplomacy. I think we're seeing a coordinated attack, but from many on international institutions, on law, on humanitarian values, and we can't just give up. Those that still are committed to international law, to human rights, to humanitarian law, and to international multilateral institutions have to fight harder. This is where we strengthen it. This is where we buckle down and say, no, we have to resist.